basically we have an update for you that is not the update I wanted to give you about what's happening out there.
It was something that happened that at the time, it was like a real shock to us, really kind of devastating.
Hello, welcome back to our channel. Thank you for being here.
Today we're gonna do a bit of a life up.
Yeah, we both have a little bit of a cold, so ignore the voices, but.
Today. Oh no.
Oh god.
Today we're going to do a bit of a life update video, just updating you all. There's been lots of questions about what we're doing, our future, Costa Rica.
Yeah, pretty much every video we upload, we have questions asking what's happening with Costa Rica, our land, the bus, and we have quite the update for you. Some exciting updates, some not so exciting updates, but anyway, we'll get to that in a second.
Also, a huge thank you to today's sponsor, Wise. If you haven't used Wise before, they make international money transfers cheap, fair and simple.
We've used them for every payment we've made out to Costa Rica. We'll chat more about them later, but just wanted to quickly mention that if you create an account using our link in the description, you will get a free first transfer of up to £500.
So, just for those that don't know, we bought some land in Costa Rica in this amazing eco village called Alegria. We decided when Raya got pregnant that we'd hit back in the UK, but with an exciting future planned out in Costa Rica, or part in the UK, part in Costa Rica. We still need to figure it all out. But
yeah, I think ideally maybe we would have gone out there. Like we knew we wanted to be here for the end of the pregnancy, the birth, and the beginning of Neo's life. And now, as if you saw one of our latest videos, you know that we're just waiting on my visa and that's why we can't travel. But pretty much, as soon as we get it, we would love to go back out to see what's happening because we haven't been in our land in a year now.
Yeah, and that definitely wasn't the plan. And I totally understand a lot of you guys and our friends are like, oh, what happened to Costa Rica? I thought you bought land out there. And we're like, yeah, we have.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of things in life right now, which means that is all on pause for the moment.
Yeah, however, basically, we have been getting lots and lots of updates from the official Alegria Instagram and everything, and our friends Kristen and Sia, who have been living out there, the land is looking amazing. So basically, as you know, there's a lot of communal spaces, which I think are all pretty much finished now, including, last time we were out there, we showed you that they were in the middle of constructing these amazing tree houses, like right near our house, kind of like a playground area for the kids, and I think that's all done now. There's like a rope bridge connecting them, and it looks so amazing, and I can't wait to bring Neo there.
Basically, one of the things I was most excited about when we first talked about moving to a tropical part of the world is the idea of us having tree houses. Yeah. And although it's a little bit more difficult specifically on our land, I think this idea of sharing this amazing community village where we have access to areas like that is just as exciting for me, and the fact that it's already there and built, yeah, it's going to be incredible. And I can just imagine now Neo, as he's growing up, becoming a toddler, growing into his, just growing up and having access to that kind of magical playgrounds. It's going to be...
Yeah. And then also, in the last year, obviously, we've, as a community, we've planted a ton of fruit trees and just a huge food forest, and a lot of those are growing and growing, and hopefully within a year or two, a lot of them will be growing fruit that we can be eating. So the community has been moving. Even though it's been on pause for us, it has not been on pause. And I think there's maybe 30 to 40 properties that are being built. At least 10 of them are completely finished. Any that we can, we'll show you here. Just some photos of some of the renders and finished houses that are looking incredible.
Yeah, check out some of these amazing architectural, creative ways that people are building. I think obviously when we first arrived last April, there was nothing. There was one house just that had started being built, but we were the first people living there.
Yeah.
And again, we made a whole video about this, how it wasn't the right timing and stuff. But I'm so excited that when we do eventually get back out there, that there's going to be a whole community of people living there day to day, spending time
there's already
together.
Families and kids. They're already going to the pool every day, cooking together, playing together. And so that was our dream. When we got there, I guess it was about a year and a half ago, when we got there with the bus just ready to go. That's what we dreamed of. And it was not ready yet. But by the time we get back out there, which is hopefully in the next few months, it will all be ready.
We made a video talking about the land we bought and what we wanted to do there eventually, building a big property and having a guest house and everything, and also having somewhere to park the bus. I think, obviously that's the long-term plan. We don't know how long-term. It could be in 5 years' time.
Yeah, to build our actual
house. Obviously we need to save a ton of money. We need to figure all of that out. Yeah. In the meantime, we do need to start some kind of construction there. There are actually kind of rules within the community not rules, but there's like a guideline that once you buy the land, you can't just leave it kind of untouched for years, because otherwise it's just going to be like decades of construction happening. So they need some kind of construction to start on the land. Within the first couple of years. So we're already kind of getting close to that deadline. So what we decided, and this was inspired by Kristen and Sia, our friends who have the lot next door.
So they have an Airstream that they shipped down from the US.
Yeah.
And they were planning to build that as part of their guest house as well, the way that we're doing with our school bus. And what they've done is build like a deck outside, which basically when we lived in the school bus for about a month last year on the land, we realized we need outdoor space urgently, because the second it rained, we had to close off the whole bus, and then you're just like stuck in this tiny bus in the rain and stuff. And having outdoor space just makes all the difference. You get the breeze. If it's raining, you can still be enjoying the space. So that is kind of our vision, that we move the bus onto where we want it to live on the land. And we build a deck outside with like a covered deck with a roof that will have an outdoor kitchen, because we realized cooking inside that bus, again, in that heat, it just gets so hot in there. So if we can move the kitchen outdoors and also the bathroom and shower outdoors, so that will be like basically building off of the bus to add to the space.
Yeah, making it a bit more of a permanent structure, because the bus, well, there's a whole nother story that the bus where it currently is parked isn't supposed to be there. It was a temporary thing. And I've actually had to have calls with some of the design committee. I explained, obviously, our situation. We can't travel. There's another thing that we're about to explain. That's a bit of a painful story to go through. But basically, for multiple reasons, we couldn't move the bus. We can't get back there to move it right now. So when we next get out, we'll have to organise moving it into a position, and that'll be where we like have permanent electricity run to it, have plumbing, have a shower outside, like you said, the deck, everything. And then it gives us the exciting chance to redesign the interior of the bus. And obviously we love the Happiness Bus. We love that Felix and Mowgli did it up and had this amazing interior. And I love the style, but I think this next phase of needing a space for Neo to sleep, not necessarily needing the kitchen and shower and stuff, toilet in the bus, because we're gonna have it there permanently. It means we can pretty much strip it out and have multiple bedrooms. Yeah,
basically, I think also with the amount that the bus has been on the road, everything's kind of slowly been shifting. So basically, we kind of have to redo the inside because a lot of it is not in the best shape that it's been. And obviously we have a baby now, and we want to make the space fit for our new lifestyle. So what we're kind of envisioning is the inside of the bus is our bedroom, maybe some like bunk beds for Neo and future baby. Probably like a little bit of an office space, I'm guessing.
Maybe multiple future babies.
Okay, we'll come back to that. But I think some kind of office space, right? Because we need like obviously to work and have our hard drives and something like that. And then maybe a second potential like bed as a guest bed or something. But anyway, it'll mainly be bedroom and office space inside the bus. Then outside the bus, I think an outdoor living space, a kitchen, and then like obviously not fully outdoor, but a bathroom and shower, maybe like a little laundry space, all of that kind of as a deck. That is, coming off of the bus.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the plan.
And I think seeing the communal area, the hive at Alegria, and seeing how well that works when it's not enclosed, like there's no external walls, so it's all undercover, and you get the breeze coming through. So I think it'll be really, really nice, as long as it's weatherproof.
Yeah.
And then one thing which I'm not sold on, but I like the idea of doing, but it might be too much work, is actually raising the height of the bus, actually cutting, and if we're going to take a lot of the interior down, it could be a good time to actually give us an extra foot or so of height.
Which only Louis needs.
No, but it'll feel so much bigger.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you've got any suggestions, comment below. If you've done bus builds, if you've seen inspirational stuff. We've been on Instagram, saving all the inspo, Pinterest and all of that. We're really excited about that potential, having that space out there. And then I think at the moment, and I think we've mentioned this, we'd be living part of the year out in Costa Rica, part of the year back here with this community.
We'd spend summers here, winters there. And then, so once that is built, which I think could be within a few months, hopefully, that whole like deck and everything, then I think we could basically live in that for the next couple years while we're saving up and building and like kind of planning to build. I would love to have like my dream house out there, but we just can't afford that right now, realistically.
And I think for me, one of the bonuses of us kind of putting everything on pause is that we can get advice from everyone that's building out there at the moment, that they've gone through all the kind of processes that I just get a bit confused. Neither of us are really into admin.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, speaking to the different architects and builders and sourcing material
and also people have already made mistakes and had to fix them in terms of like what kinds of materials can sustain that weather and everything. So if we can kind of get advice from everyone else that is like a year or two ahead of us, then that would be amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of the vision, and hopefully we can go out there, like I said, within the next few months. Definitely, if all goes to plan with the visa, we would love to spend a few months out there after the Christmas, New Year time.
Yeah.
Basically like the most miserable winter months here. We'd love to be out there. So yeah, hopefully that will be a really fun series on this channel of like redoing the bus and kind of, building all that out. Coming soon. But before that, we have basically we have an update for you that is not the update I wanted to give you about what's happening out there.
It was something that happened that at the time, it was like a real shock to us, really kind of devastating.
Honestly, there's a reason why it's taken me so long to even want to talk about it on the channel. I only just told my parents it happened, I realized, because I just didn't want it to be a reality. All right, let me take a quick second to tell you why we love Wise and why we've been using them for years. If you've ever tried to send money to a different country, you know how much it can cost to do that. Especially if you're sending large amounts, the hidden fees can just seem really unfair. And as you know, we got married in Costa Rica and we bought this land in Costa Rica. So we've had to send some huge amounts into bank accounts in Costa Rica, from buying the land, paying our monthly fees, obviously everything for the wedding, paying the venue, the photographer, videographer, food, everything. Those were all large amounts of money that either came out of my US account into a Costa Rican account, or from Louis' UK account into a Costa Rican account. And we used Wise for all of those payments. The reason we used Wise is because they use the real exchange rate and it's just fair. You see all the rates up front and there's no raises or hidden fees. It's also so easy to do. Both the website and the app are really intuitive, and most of their transfers are processed instantly or on the same day. Actually, 52% of transfers made on their platform arrive at their destination within 20 seconds, which is amazing. Some other things I love are that you can schedule transfers on their website for a future date, and that they use the true commercial exchange rate. Once you've completed creating your transfer, they'll even secure your exchange rate for a certain period of time and let you know. And one more thing, you can ask for Wise to notify you when the exchange rate reaches a value that you specify, to really make sure you're getting the rate that you want. Obviously, our lives are very international, as our family lives in 3 different countries, we've bought land in a 4th country, so Wise has just made our lives so much easier. And for any of you that have family abroad, or maybe you're in a long-distance relationship, or even if you're just planning to travel, I'd highly recommend trying out Wise. For any travelers too, I'd recommend looking into the Wise debit card, which can be used for withdrawals, purchases, and payments abroad, with lower fees up to 7 times cheaper than international credit cards. They also have a virtual card that's on your phone, so you can spend without the physical card, which is very handy if your card gets lost while traveling. So if you want to try Wise out, don't forget to use our link in the description below to get a free first transfer up to £500 or equivalent amount in any other currency. All right, let's get back to the video. Yeah, so basically a few months ago, our friend Sia, who's living out there, their Airstream was parked right behind our bus. And we got a phone call, and I remember picking up being like, oh, Sia's calling us, and we're like ready to chat to him.
Also, this was in the final months of your pregnancy. It was just before Neo arrived, so it was already kind of...
Yeah, it was kind of a wild time.
We were in the deep nesting phase.
Yeah. And then Sia was like, guys, I'm so sorry. I don't want to be having to make this call right now, but I'm standing in your bus right now, and it has been completely ransacked. It's been robbed. Like, people have been in here. Everything is everywhere. Every drawer is open. Yeah. Everything is all over the floor. And he's like, I don't even know what's been taken. Like, I don't know what's missing. And my heart just sank.
We did take some stuff back with us to the UK, but there was so much in the bus that we'd like carefully packed away in like vacuum packed bags. I put all of my electronics like carefully away in these drawers.
Yeah, because if you didn't know, it's rainy season for like 6 months straight. It's basically raining and everything gets damp and mold grows crazy fast. So you have to be really like good about keeping everything clean. Yeah,
so I had like the dehumidifier running. I propped our mattress up. I had a fan blowing underneath it to keep the air kind of aerating so the mattress didn't get moldy. Everything packed away, all of Raya's books. I mean, I don't want to go through it all, but it was like hard drives, irreplaceable hard drives, laptop, loads of camera stuff, batteries for
think
our
about it.
electric bikes.
Our vision was to live out there. Before we got pregnant, we weren't even thinking about being out here. So everything we wanted for like our future, we put on that bus.
Yeah, and the stuff we brought back here was kind of temporary because we were like, well, we're moving to the UK for the birth. We don't know when we'll be back in Costa Rica.
It was like, oh, let's just bring one checked bag of like random stuff we'll need over the next few months. It wasn't like, let's clear out the bus.
I don't know if any of you have been the victim of a robbery and felt that violation of like someone's gone through all of your things. I mean, obviously the bonuses is we weren't there. There wasn't kind of any kind of altercation.
Yeah.
But still, it's like this sacred space that we've been poured our love into. We've got all of our belongings, and then someone smashed a window, got in, ransacked. We don't even know what was stolen. We do know that all of my power tools were stolen. I think our bike batteries, I think a lot of my camera gear. I think if I was to guess, about $5,000 worth of gear was taken. And a lot of it's just really annoying stuff to replace. I'm hoping there wasn't much taken that's irreplaceable. But, you know, without those bike batteries, which are worth like $800 each, we can't use our electric bikes out there. It's just annoying things like that.
And the tools, like Louis had invested tons of money into buying all the tools that we'd need to build our house with, and all of those are gone.
Yeah, so I think that was the main thing they were after, was the power tools. Luckily, the generator was chained down, but Kristen and Sia also had some things stolen because they had at the time, their Airstream was next to it. Yeah. So anyways, this like real devastating moment of just like, not just the things that were taken, but now the bus is in this state of, I don't even know, the window's broken, there could be rain, damp coming in, all of our things are strewn everywhere. So the things that weren't taken could still be like damaged and destroyed and ruined now. Yeah. We sent some friends in to try and collect some of the things that were still left there and to try and patch the bus up. But I think the window, there was a bag over the window I heard, and then it blew away. So there's still potentially a lot of moisture getting the bus. I don't know if the dehumidifier is still running.
There could be like animals living in there.
Honestly, and it's kind of, it's a difficult place to leave something unattended anyway. Yeah. So there was always a chance of like, okay, the bus is gonna, you know, there's even like things growing in the bus.
Yeah, I think basically because, like, to me, we bought that land as like this is our dream, you know, like we brought the bus down, we're like, we're gonna raise kids here and it's gonna be this safe, beautiful place for us. And I know that it will be safe, and the reason that this happened is because no one was living there yet, and the bus was obviously left empty for months.
It was essentially a construction site, and
so obviously we don't know who did it, but it was just like, you know, that this is not a representation of the community at all. Yeah. Once the community is full of people that we know and know us, like, people aren't going to be able to get to do anything like that. So I know that, like, logically, looking at the future, Alegria is beautiful and Costa Rica is safe and everything's great. But it's just like, I now just have this, I don't know, like, sick feeling when I think about going back on the bus. I actually, when we go back there, I don't want to see the bus in that state. I've already told Louis, me and Nia will stay back in whatever house.
I'll go for a couple of days to kind of do an assessment and clean up the bus and fix the window and get things at least back to a manageable level. And I was actually, we were talking about whether I should fly out for a week, but it's like pretty expensive flights.
Well, basically, when we got that phone call, I was like, I think we need to go out because, like, what is happening? Yeah. But it was, a couple of weeks before Nia was born, so Louis was like, I can't fly out now. Like,
imagine I was
into labor early.
Exactly. If I was in Costa Rica, then she'd gone into labor, and it would have taken me an extra day or two to figure out getting home quickly. So we decided at the time, look, there's not much we can do. We can send our friends to try and salvage things and patch the bus up, but we have to be wise here and just focus. And I think at that point, for both of us, it was almost like, let's put that, I kind of pushed out in my mind. I was like, the bus is there.
We were weeks from having a baby.
So the bus is there. Even if we've lost everything we had on the bus, we're still okay. We're still alive. We're just going to have to rebuild when we get back out there.
So I think that is another reason, like, why I'm excited to rebuild the bus, because in my head, it's kind of a write-off. Yeah. Like I said, so much of the bus is made of wood, and I don't know if our dehumidifier is going, and who knows how much mold is. And obviously, you do not want to mess with mold, especially bringing a baby into the space. So
the optimist in me thinks the bus is actually going to be in a better state than we think. But
I mean, I would rather go there expecting it to be trash, and then it's like better than that. That's the goal. But I think, like, I think you kind of mentioned this, but the hardest bit for me is just knowing that people were in our space, or someone, or more than one person were in our space, like our home, and it was like with malicious intent. That's what it is. It's like ripping our bags open, going through our clothes, and it looks like they were in there for a very long time. Just from what Sia could see, it's like every single thing has been open. So
they found like
all
of our secret cubby holes, like storage we had, which wasn't easily
like specific
accessible.
Hidden spots. And probably one of the most annoying things, just from quick glance, obviously it would take hours to go through everything, but Sia couldn't see the keys anywhere, like the keys to actually start the bus.
So this is another thing which I was referring to, where even if I went back, I don't know how easily we could get the bus moved, because I'd have to figure out how to hotwire it, or maybe go on a massive search for the keys, because I'm guessing they might have just thrown them outside somewhere, but it's just a lot to deal with mentally. So that's why I've kind of just pushed it away. It's kind of on the back burner. It's on pause, and then whenever we get out there, whether it's later this year or early next year, you relax. I'm going to get on that. That's going to be my project. And I think it's interesting because I'd already, end of last year, had started getting the bus nice. I'd replaced all the flooring because that had got damp from the shower. So I kind of I'm invested in restoring the bus back to being this beautiful space and haven for us. But right now it's not.
Even like I said, we invested knowing that this was going to be our home for years. So like the mattress we brought, the SoulCycle bike that I bought, the e-bikes that we bought, those were all like very, very expensive purchases, but we're like, it's okay because we're going to use this for years and years. And I just don't know if any of those are usable or what's even still there working. So so that's kind of our Costa Rica update. Some exciting things, and I'm trying my best to just focus on the excitement and the beauty that is already there, and that the community. That's one thing I want to quickly, I don't want to end this on a negative note. I just want to say, Kristen and Sia, having been out there for months, are raving about, one, the school that their daughter Kai is going to, and I'm very excited to look into that, but then also the community of people. They have like an amazing group of friends, and all the kids are playing, and actually some of their closest friends are the people that live in the lot. So Kristen and Sia live right next to us. There's another lot next to us, so apparently they're amazing, and I can't wait to go out there and get to know the people. The reason we're really moving out there is like to be in community, to live with amazing, beautiful people, and for Neo to have tons of friends everywhere. And it sounds like that is happening, and Kristen and Sia are just telling us beautiful stories about it. So that's what I'm holding on to, is that image and vision.
Yeah, and I think it's been interesting kind of looking in from not being there yet and seeing some of the ups and downs of kind of the newly forming community. But I remember from that first year where we went to like the HOA meeting and we all gathered and had that incredible, beautiful community party and just spent time actually getting to know our future neighbours. I think that's what I know it's going to feel like when we get there. So I do feel a bit detached right now, and it's really exciting hearing the stories. But I think when we get back in and we land and we reconnect and we're like, okay, we're back. That's gonna be beautiful, and I can't wait to introduce Neo. Even when he's this size, just showing him around where he's gonna spend a lot of his future growing up. I think we might, again, we need to figure this all out, but I think we might, if we go back for a few months next year, maybe leave Callie in the UK with friends and to be looked after here, because trying to travel with her was a lot. And dragging her back and forth on planes isn't.
I think if we're going for a long enough time that where it makes sense, of course we'll do it. But if it's just like 2 or 3 months, it doesn't make sense to make her go through that.
She's been loving life out here.
Oh my gosh, she has so many friends. But anyway, we'll tell you all those plans when it actually happens. But just wanted to give you an update. Thank you to everyone who has been asking in like every video about what's happening. And hopefully we can forget about the bad part of this video and just focus on the excitement of building the deck and redoing the bus, and how that's going to be like a really amazing series on this channel in the next few months, hopefully. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already, and thanks again to Wise for sponsoring this video. Again, make sure to click on the link below or in the pinned comment to create an account and get a free first transfer of up to £500 using Wise.
And if you're not subscribed to the channel, you're excited about seeing the rest of our journey here as we're plugging into this community in the UK, and then as we get back out to Costa Rica and start living our dream in the amazing eco community of Alegria, click that subscribe button and we'll see you in the next video for some very exciting news. We have an incredibly exciting announcement coming up in the next video.
There may or may not have been some hints in this video so far. We'll see. Guess down below. Okay, bye. See you later.